Hi guys, Crazymoves09 back here with part 2 of the $3 rebuy that I chopped 3-way at the final table. I'll go to the end of the rebuy period, maybe a little bit past that in this video, and then we'll stop it and wait for part 3. We'll get straight into it. I'll move through it pretty quickly because there's a lot of hands in the tournament. I'll only look at the hands that I'm actually going to play. Here I've kind of made a mistake. I'm down to 16.55. I really should, I might not have got an opportunity. Even here with 7-2, I should have raised to 200 and then folded, and so that I could get my rebuy straight away and take myself up to 3,000 chips. I would have been playing a lot of tables at the same time, so I missed that spot. But it makes a big difference then if you do pick up a big hand like Ace King. You have 3,000 chips that you can double to 6,000 rather than just doubling to your 3,000 chips. But here we shove with our Ace King, pretty standard. Get snap called with the 7s, and he wins the race, so we get up to our 3,000 anyway. But if we had won that, we would have lost a lot of value by not being on 3,000 chips when the hand started. Here there's a limp under the gun. I'm 30 big blind, so I decided I'll limp behind and see if we can get around. Get shoved though, so we just lay it down. Some pretty crazy play going on by the looks of it. A limp under the gun and limp right behind, so just get out of the way with King 10. No need to get involved in there, it's still early. Put the queens, raise it up. Unfortunately no action. Raise from the button there and a call from small blind, just move out of the way with our 10-8. If it was suited, it might be a decent hand to see if we can hit something before rebuy period ends. Shove on any decent draws or any top pair or whatever to try and get a bit of a stack before the rebuy period ends. But in general, we're not really deep enough to be calling on suited 2-gappers here. To defend your big blind might not be too bad. I don't really defend my big blind a whole lot when the blinds are big in relation to our stacks though, apart from not by just flat calling anyway. There we would have got top pair and could have shoved, but we wouldn't have got any action, so we really wouldn't have taken a huge pot before the rebuy anyway. Looks like we've just had rebuy. Our stack's gone up to 5,700, so we've had 3,000 add-on. King Queen here, out of position, too deep to reshove. Don't want to flat call there, out of position. Can't 3-bet and fold, so just move out of the way with our King Queen off there. Pocket queens again. We get a raise. Obviously going to 3-bet it. We're just under 40 big blinds here. He's made it the full 450, 3x. I think a decent size raise here, but something that looks like that we can fold if he shoves is good. I think I like around between 1,100 and 1,200 is good, I think. That's a little big. I don't think we need the full 3 times. It really makes us look committed. That's too big. And I really should have made it just a couple of hundred smaller to make it look like we have room to fold here. Even 1050 would have been fine here, I think. We really want action, we don't want to scare the action away. Just fold in early position there, limp. That's not a good play at these stacks at all, really. That's a really, really unusual play for me to make. As you can see, my limp is only 2%, so I don't know why I'm limping there in early position with pocket 3s. I'll usually just open fold. Okay, pocket 9s here, 40 big blinds. We've got an early position raise. He looks like he's reasonably aggressive. We may not have had this many hands on him this early in the tournament. A lot of them probably came from the tournament. There's a good chance of it. As we can see, he likes to limp a lot though in early position, and he doesn't really raise all that much, but he has raised just as often as any other position, so I think I prefer a 3-bet here, but if we 3-bet and he 4-bets, we're in a really, really tough spot, so I actually do just flat call, and when I looked at this, I was thinking that I didn't really like the flat call, and I prefer a 3-bet here. But now looking at it again, yeah, when we 3-bet and he 4-bet shoves us, it really does put us in a tough spot. We don't know where we are. So I actually do quite like a flat call here. See what the flop's like, and we're in position. See how he plays the hand. Again, this guy just flat calls with his 5-2. I'm not really sure what he's doing there. Maybe just planning on shoving any flop. He gets a pretty decent flop for his hand. He does shove. We get shoved on by the 9s, which is just works out great for our hand. And we manage to hold. We take down a nice pot, and that gives us about 90 big blinds. So we're waiting for antes to kick in and then kicking up our aggression. Here I'm deep enough, and there's enough other deeper stacks around to put in a small raise with the pocket 4s and either get heads up and c-bet and take it down one at a time, or if we get a couple of players, we'll just be playing a bit of fold basically, looking for the set. Unfortunately we don't get to see a flop. King Jack under the gun, just fold. Aces on the butt in the big blind. Get a raise from middle position and call from a small blind. Here we've got a good hand, but we've also got 2 players in, I think around 1200, 1150, 1200, I think is pretty good here. Maybe a little bigger to make it look like you're stealing, 1250, 1325, something like that. I like to just go for 1200. It's a pretty small raise size to try and keep the action in, but unfortunately we get fold. I have no idea what's going on here with the flat call on 8-9. And he gets there. That was an interesting hand, just for a little bit of entertainment. Here we have 8s. Here we have 7s. There's a raise in early middle position, and a flat call behind. There's 2 people in it, and I've got a couple of big stacks behind me, so I haven't got set mining odds against these 2 stacks, but I have got 2 good stacks behind me. There's also a reshove stack here, but against this sort of action he shouldn't be reshoving too lightly, and he also looks like he's very nitty. So here I don't mind coming along. There is 2 of them, so if one of the big stacks doesn't come along and I do hit my set, I've got a better chance of getting paid off by 2 people. And I've got really good odds if one of these stacks come in behind, which they might be enticed to with really good pot odds. So here I call behind. The big blind has queens and shoves, so we have to get out of the way. He takes down a really nice pot. I've been in moved positions for some reason, sorry about that. Right being down here, this is where I always play. Bucket 5s and the big blind. Get a small raise. We've got plenty of implied odds here to call for the set. It's a paired board. It is quite wet in that it's connected and it is suited, but it's really quite it's a lot drier board than some people would think. They see the jack of the 8 and the 2 suits there. It's really not that wet of a board. There's still a really good chance that he's missed this board, so I don't really like just giving up with my pocket 5s here, and I don't like just flat calling because there's a lot of bad cards that can come, and he's probably going to continue to bet, and I'm not going to be able to withstand any more action. So I'm going to try and take the hand down now while there's still a good chance that I'm ahead. He's going to c-bet this flop 90% of the time, most players, so I think check raise here is a good option. I go for the check raise. Unfortunately he calls, and when he calls I'm basically done with the hand now. There's no use continuing. We get a really bad card on the turn and we just give up. There he bets only 1,000 on the river into a $4,000 pot, giving us 5-to-1 pot odds, but he called us on that flop, so he's either got draws or he's got some part of that board. All the draws basically got there. If you had 9, 10, he's got a pair of 10s. There's just no way that we're ever ahead there, so it's an easy fold even for the small bet. Okay guys, that's the last hand I've got down here for part 2. So we'll wrap it up and I'll be back shortly with part 3. Thanks for watching.